Hello friends and welcome to our channel. Today we will be discussing about how we can schedule our AWS Lambda functions. So in real scenarios, there is always case where we want our Lambda functions to be executed at a particular time or in every 1 hour intervals it should be executed up. So in this video, we will be discussing about how we can schedule our Lambda to be executing in that particular time frame and what exactly AWS Lambda is and how we will be doing the configuration for that. So basically, AWS Lambda is a PaaS service which stands for Platform as a Service. So AWS is providing us the platform where we don't need to worry about the CPUs, the scalability. Like if our code is too heavy, it's taking a lot of CPUs, it will automatically scale. We don't need to increase the CPU and anything. Also, the upgrading part, like if we have a server where we upload our Python code or Node.js code, and there we need to update the versions whenever there is a release from the vendors. So that in AWS Lambda, we will not be managing that thing. It is all managed by AWS. So the workflow which we are seeing here is this: we will create our Lambda code, we will upload it, it will be triggered, and the Lambda function will be triggered up. And we will be paying for the time for which the Lambda function has been executed. Once the Lambda function stops, we will not be getting charged for that. So for server also, what will happen is we create a server, and then there are other jobs which are scheduled in that server. Like there is one function which is running for every hour. There is one function which is running every 15 minutes or 30 minutes. Then we cannot stop the server. So the complete billing will be coming for the server. But in case of a Lambda, the individual Lambda will be charged up for the time it's being executed up. So that is the basic advantage which Lambda gives. The other, if I talk about the cons of the Lambda function, that Lambda function can execute for only 15 minutes. There is, if our code is taking more than 15 minutes, then the Lambda function will throw an error and it will be a timeout error. So that is the limitation which Lambda is having currently. But apart from that limitation, it's a platform as a service, so it's completely smooth and all the things is being configured properly. So now the steps which we need to follow in order to schedule our Lambda is: first we will be creating our Lambda function, then we will be creating a Cloudwatch event for that. So Cloudwatch event is basically a scheduling which is provided on AWS, where our Lambdas will be triggered based on the cron which we will be defining up. So let's jump on to the console, and this is the Lambda console. So I have few of the Lambda functions which I have already created. So I will be creating a test one. So we'll do a author from scratch. We'll name it as a scheduling Lambda. Then I will select Python 3.8. Will use an existing IAM role. So whenever there is a Lambda function which will be created, we have to assign an IAM role and all the logics defined in that particular Lambda function. So suppose you are through that Lambda function, you are accessing the S3 buckets and then transferring that files to some other buckets. So then this Lambda should have the permission to the S3 buckets which you have mentioned in your code. So with this execution role, Lambda will assume that permission and will perform the operations which is defined in your code. So for now, I will be using one and will create that function. So my function is being created. So that is a basic test function. And here you can see it's nothing. So now what we need to do is we need to go to the CloudWatch. I will open in a new tab. And on the CloudWatch, you have to go to the events and the rules. So here we will be creating a rule which will be triggering our Lambda function at the particular schedule time. So we'll click on the create, and here we will get two options. One is the event pattern and the second is the scheduling option. Event pattern, we will discuss it in separate video. For now, I will be selecting as a schedule. So this is the schedule which it's giving. Like if we want it to be executing every 5 minutes, then we can select it every hour. If it's there, we can select it, or we can use the cron expression also. So cron expression is basically, if I can show you, so cron expression is having a 5 stars, and each stars is having a significance. So if we move from the right to left, so the right one is the day of the week. Like if our scripts needs to be executed on a particular day, like it should be executed on Sunday, then we have to mention 0 there, because 0 is for Sunday and 6 is for Saturday. Suppose our job which needs to be executed on Tuesday, then we have to mention it as 2. 2 will resemble Tuesday. The next star mentions the month, in which month we want to execute. Suppose we want our scripts to be executed once in a quarter, right? So January, April, and October, we want our scripts to be executed. Then we have to mention the month value. So for January, it will be 1. And in case if it's October, then 10th. And we can provide these values as a comma separated also. Suppose January and October, it should be executed up. So we will be defining 1 comma 10. Like this, it should be defined up. Then the hour at which the day of the month, like suppose in a month I want this script to be executed on every 15th of month, so then I will be defining 15th as the date to be executed for that. So on 15th it will automatically get executed. Then the second last comes as the hour, at which hour you want to run. Like suppose I want 25th at 22 hours, I want this script to be executed. So I will mention 22 as a second last and 15th as the third last value. And all remain will be the star. And the last one denotes the minute. So minutes is basically if you want at 10, 20. So we will be defining 10 as and the last value as 20. So let's define our cron scheduler. So right now it's 9:35. So what I will do is I will define it for 35 space star space 9 star star star, right? So if you will go to the sample events, it will show you these are the scheduled events which will be running up, and the name is this one. So the next thing is we need to define the target. So target is basically multiple options have been provided. We can trigger a SNS topic, we can go to SQS queue, SSM automations, and multiple things is being provided up. So here we will be selecting our Lambda function and the name of the Lambda function which we have used. So it's the scheduling Lambda. So this is done. We can add multiple Lambda functions here, and we can add multiple resources also. Suppose I can add SNS also. One it will trigger both the services, one the Lambda function and the SNS topic. So I will click on configure. We'll give it a name, scheduling Lambda, and then the description I will copy paste the same thing and create. Okay, it's saying it's not valid. Okay, one. Yeah, so we cannot define the star here. It's a question mark which will trigger and it will show you the next 10 triggers date. So it's already being passed in 35. So what I will do is I will schedule it for 2140. So it will run for 29th, 21st, 22, 23. All these events you can see, right? So we'll go next configure, then create rule, and the rule is created and its status is showing as enabled. So let's wait for this function to be triggered up. So it's next thing we need to go to our Lambda function. There you have to switch into the monitoring tab and then click on the view logs in Cloudwatch. So it will open the logs which will be created for the function which is there. So by default, whenever you create a Lambda function, a log group is being created once it's being executed. So since there is no execution till now, so that's why you cannot see the log group associated with this Lambda. Once the Lambda function has been executed, there you can see that the log group has been created for this Lambda function. So if you see here, other Lambda functions have been created for this log groups. So let's see if it's created now. So let's go and then again click on the CloudWatch. Still it's not being created. So it's currently going through the logs. So I will pause the video and once it's been created, we'll show you. So now you can see the log stream has been created. And here you will see that the function was being called up and it has been executed properly.